What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Thursday out there, everyone, everywhere. Thirsty Thursday, Taco Thursday. Should be Taco Thursday. Tacos are cannot be contained to one day. We're back, daily Jerome's live stream, Monday through Thursday. Nailed it. 11 a.m. Central Time, which is the only time zone. So thanks for coming along. Final show of the week. Vikings have the Dallas Cowboys late game on Sunday. Should be a lot of fun. We got a bunch of Q&A. We'll do some shouts here a little bit later on. Also, so this week for the hot dish. So maybe we made a little bit of an error. So we did smoked beef brisket for Texans week. Now brisket, more Central Texas, would have been better suited for Dallas, but is what it is. So we were thinking what we're gonna do for the Cowboys in our football themed cooking show, and we thought, all right, so Dallas beef steak. Do we just do a good steak, properly grilling or searing a steak? Do we do that, or do we do Tex-Mex? That's a big thing with Dallas too. So I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna do some smoked beef fajitas. So that should be a lot of fun. Really good talking today. You ever bite your tongue? Not like literally, not like like you're holding something back, but then you just keep biting it. It's kind of annoying. Well, thank you very much for coming along, making this part every day. So, getting into the questions. First up, Andy Shong. Would you be shocked if the Vikings pull a Giants and made it to Tampa? Let's resize here. Against the 16-0 Steelers, then pull an upset like the Giants did to the Patriots, Chad being Tyree. It would be pleasantly surprising. It would be pretty awesome. And I think the Steelers legit may go 16-0. You just never really know. God, what is going on, man? See, this is the problem with doing film rooms, because then it screws up my my zooming. Because all I want to do is just zoom, and you boom, boom. Just shake your rump. There you go. DP. Who would be a good host for 96 questions if they brought it back? Michael Pierce. Michael Pierce is a funny dude, man. He is. I know it's not really that important, but I understand he opted out of COVID because he has asthma. He is a larger player too, so obviously it's a concern. But I don't know, like him live tweeting games. I don't know, man. Skull Vikings. Do you think we keep Cousins for 2 more years? Depends how the season ends and where the Vikings are slotted draft position wise, because it doesn't look like the bottom's going to fall out on this. It looks like the Vikings will be drafting it in the 20s. So maybe. I think that if they're in range for one of the big 4 quarterbacks, they would move on. But also you go into the draft telegraphing that you're going to be drafting a quarterback high, and that puts you in bad position. But I think as of right now, maybe they do a restructure somehow. Like maybe they tack on a year extension, try to alleviate some of that cap hit in 2022, maybe, but then have the 2023 year be toilet paper. That is whatever. Maybe. Lily Emma, do you think we get a Super Bowl worthy team? Do you think we a Super Bowl worthy team? If not, what would you change? One more question. So if the special teams gets their shit together, sure. One more question. Who do you think will end up being cut this year, or who do you think will end up being traded? I hope you're having a good Thursday. Skull from New Jersey. Hey, thank you very much for coming along, Lily. I actually think that it's probably a likelihood that Barr gets cut. I don't think you can trade that contract. I think they move on, take that cap savings, roll it over into Eric Wilson. Other guys being cut. I think they'll hang on to Rudy. It had been going back and forth, but damn, Rudy had a great game against the Bears with Irv sideline. Irv also returned to practice on Wednesday, which is a good sign. I think that's probably it. I don't see any trades in the offing. I think Anthony Harris may be allowed to walk, although with a down year, plus him being a year older, maybe he takes a lower number than potentially had been asked for last offseason. Randy Moss is the boss. I think the most nervous people in the world are Vikings fans before a game, especially against bad teams, because you never know with the Vikings. That's true, especially with 3 bad teams in a row. Brady Miller, I feel that we're so young everywhere besides quarterback, which makes the position more important in draft. Yeah, and even if they go down the route of keeping with Cousins with 2 more years, mid-round pick, Desmond Ridder, Kellen Mond, Derek King, someone that can sit and give the Vikings fans hope. It's like, hey, this is going to be the guy. Griffin Creer, how would you grade Brian O'Neill's performance versus the Bears? I thought he played great. I thought that he played well in that there was a couple ugly reps, except you are going to have that against Khalil Mack. The fact that Mack got 4 pressures, sure, but also didn't get home, phenomenal. Plus, I thought he was good in the run game as well, even though the Bears shut down Dalvin Cook for only 96 yards. Blitz Kits, love your show. You do a great job hosting, entertaining, informative. Never going to tune into ESPN after their Woke Fest. So glad I found you. Hey, thank you. And yeah, I know everything that's going on with ESPN. They're having layoffs. Ratings are down. A lot of cord cutters. But, it's not even so much that, like me taking a stand versus their politics, because they can do whatever they want, but then the market is going to respond in kind and do whatever they want. But I don't know, like nothing about ESPN's original programming grabs me anymore. So the only time I really watch ESPN is live sports. And, well, I guess 30 for 30s, except I just catch those on demand. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the future is, because I think that, not to toot our own horn, but I think shows like this, channels like this will catch on, where you do have more specialized niche coverage. I mean, try being a national football media jabroni haircut. I empathize, because you have to try and talk intelligently about 32 different teams, and you can't go into the depth of a person covering a single team can do. It's like, how many national media people know about Chris Jones, or that Chris Boyd is playing well, or that the reason why the Vikings had 2 punts blocked is because Irv Smith got hurt and they had to put in DJ Wanham at right guard, and DJ Wanham's never played on punt team before. Right? How do you do that? I don't know. Just a weird time. But I do like... So it's easier than ever for anyone to get their voice out. Like, anyone can start a channel. Anyone can start an Instagram account. Anyone can start a podcast, which is great. It's really democratizing the the content game. Because before, I mean, when there's like 3 channels on TV, you had to get on one of them, and they were gatekeepers of content. And there's a reason why MASH had 100 million people watching it, because there was 3 channels, man. It's like, sort of like this Twin Cities market, where what's the best sports coverage in town? Well, this thing, even though, okay. It's like if you had a human being who grew up only eating gruel, and you ask them what is the best food. It's like, oh, gruel. Gruel's the best food. I mean, why would you eat anything else besides gruel? Gruel is fantastic. Gruel's the best. It's the only choice that you have. So, long story longer, the whole democratizing of platforms, and everyone can have their content and do that. I think it's great that the barrier for entry is low, but also it really does weed out like who's really good, who's really bad, and then who is us, like right here, just slightly above bad. Yeah, people still come along. It's cool. Yeah, I'm all for the free market, because people's time is valuable. Your time is valuable, and we thank you every single day for coming along on the stream, as well as checking out the videos. We're growing and showing every single week. So, yeah, you got to bring it. Like, you have to do your research. You have to bring some energy, and you have to be entertaining. And you can't just be, hey, people are going to watch my stuff. I can be lazy about it. I can do whatever, just because there's no other options, because there's more than 3 channels on the TV nowadays, or, what's it called? But yeah, I always wanted to. Now, I'm sure this is like narcissism, but I mean, I'm a classic narcissist, but you do see people on like TV, radio, and be like, if you had to start from scratch and had to start like your own podcast, your own channel, like, how big would you grow? Or are you getting by because you're on a big network? Always makes me wonder. Wait, what the hell are we talking about? Oh, it's a good question. Eric Hansen. I made your Italian-style beef sandwiches for the game Monday night. Everyone loved them. Thanks for the idea. Also, apparently, you can get giardiniera in small-town Minnesota. And you'll look funny when you ask about it, Skull. Hey, thank you very much for coming along. We have a friend in Canada. She had to make her own because she couldn't find any up there. And also, so I'm yeah, we're also making our own jardinera now because it's really easy. Plus, it's really good. Plus, it's kind of expensive. I mean, you get like a small jar and it's like $6. It's like, okay. But also, so we like making our own sauerkraut. We like making our own kimchi, which is great. But yeah, I know it wasn't like an authentic Italian style beef sandwich because some Chicago people got in there is like, at that there, what is that there? Pulford Skull. I love Thursdays, man. I love Thursdays and the live stream because the work is mainly done. So then, well, especially since headed to an undisclosed location this weekend. It's the final weekend of rifle season for deer here in Minnesota. So me and the father-in-law going out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, it's great to do nothing. I'm a big fan of doing nothing, as evidenced by some of the level of content on this channel. Love the CB video from today. What's a CB? What'd I say? Oh, I really like bringing that trio together. Oh, cornerback. I was like, Cameron Dancer? Baby, we got Stu. Who rotates now? Would Dancer come back and eventually Hughes? I think you should keep Hughes on the bench. Just save him from himself, man. But with Dancer coming back, I think it should still be Dancer and Gladney starting, although Chris Boyd is really pushing it. And then in nickel, Gladney, slot, and then have Dancer and Chris Boyd each play a side. But Chris Jones has played well enough that you should definitely work on that rotation, a la what Zimmer did last year in 2019. Hunters. Just want to say it's great to wake up and watch your vids. Also, you should post some T-Wolves content. Hey, thank you, man. I would say that our T-Wolves content would be not very good. Like, actually, where's the T-Wolves at? There we go. So last night, the Minnesota Fighting Timberwolves drafted Anthony Edwards. You know, that guy from ER who died from like AIDS on the show? Or was it like a tumor? Doesn't matter. So, yeah, I had no idea about the draft. So Anthony Edwards, cool. Oh, Ricky Rubio's back, which is pretty damn awesome. I love watching Rubio, even though. So yeah, my Wolves content will be like dated. It would be like all Kevin Garnett and Marbury and Dean Garrett and Joe Smith and Anthony Peeler and Doug West, like Flip Saunders, RIP content. Like that'll be it. Also, Latrell Sprewell, Sam Cassell, duh, Chris Carr. Just listing off names of awesome guys. I didn't really pay attention with Christian Laettner, although I probably should have. God, what terrible. Christian Laettner was on the 92 Dream Team. What kind of gangster poop is that? Oh, Pooh Richardson? Tony Campbell? I thought Tony Campbell was the ish. Also, the Wolves playing games in the Metrodome. You want to see something stupid? Besides the Cowboy stats? Yeah, we need to do more just like tangents. Yeah, can we just open this picture? No, I don't want to sign up for updates, Strib. No wonder newspapers are failing. All right, yeah, we'll just do it like this. Just do it like this. I mean, because that's awesome. That is hilarious, man. All right, so this... Back at the old dome, so baseball setup, this is where home plate would be. So basically you're sitting in like left center field here. This is awesome. This is awesome, man. So this is where before Target Center got built. God, it's great. That's hilarious. They need to bring stuff like that back. Next up, what are we talking about? Folds right into the wall. Oh, I don't know anything about Anthony Bennett. What is the best question you've ever gotten on one of these? That one. I don't know. We always get good questions. You guys are great. Jacob Mejia Megat. If we make the playoffs, who are you most scared of and least scared of? Love the vids. There's really no one in the NFC that scares me. AFC, you're not that scared of the Steelers. Chiefs a little bit, because I think if the Vikings get down double digits early and then Kirk has to throw. Because, I mean, the Vikings went toe-to-toe with the Titans, went toe-to-toe with the Seahawks. The Bucks are fallible. The Saints are beatable. Packers, obviously beatable. Yeah, there's really no one in the NFC. Yeah, maybe the Chiefs from the AFC. That's about it. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. We'll give a couple shout-outs. I do basketball. Riley Reef is great, but he won't stick around forever. When will he start to decline, leave, and what do you do about the left tackle spot without him? Well, what do you mean decline? Like, he's gotten better. Like, this is his best season of his career, which is kind of crazy because he's 31. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's making about $11 million and change next year, which is actually okay in terms of left tackle pay. I think he's definitely earned the right to be around for another year. But also, pending on what happens in the draft, depending on the development of Blake Brandel, I think they should still consider Ezra Cleveland the left tackle of the future. Because, I mean, as fun as he is as a right guard, I think that his potential as a left tackle is still, you have to tap into that, because guards are guards. Also, if you're doing this, you're capping the potential of, say, an Oli Udoh, who certainly could step up and play right guard, but he's probably not going to be an NFL left tackle. As well as Kyle Hinton, not going to be an NFL left tackle, but I mean, maybe he could develop into a starting guard eventually. So I think that what's the analogy that we've used before? It's like using a Ferrari to haul a boat. Like, you can do that, except, why? Ezra Cleveland is a Ferrari. Hopefully that ankle heals up. Daniel Tuma. What do you think the plan should be for the safety position moving forward into next year and beyond? Will we be able to keep Harris? I think Harrison should retire in purple. Yeah, I know that we've bandied the idea about, trading him, but hang on to him. Harris would be tough to keep, because if they didn't come to an agreement on a long-term extension before, he's probably not worth that tag a second time for sure. So maybe they work out like a small extension, or maybe he tests free agency, but the market might be a little bit tepid. Maybe they circle back. I think they definitely need to address safety early on in the draft. A lot of mocks have had, Ardarius Washington or Morey from TCU, the two Horned Frog safeties, have been mocked to the Vikings at various points, so that's interesting. Josh Metellus, Curtis also. So this is interesting. So the Vikings do a 3-safety goal line. They did that one snap against Detroit. That's the only snap that Chris Boyd and Jeff Gladney have not played on defense, by the way. So it's interesting. The last 2 weeks. So they have a 3-safety goal line where it's 5 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 3 safeties, and the third safety was Curtis Riley, and not Josh Metellus. So I think it's a little bit telling. A couple of shout-outs. Let's see here. Gabe Morgan, Skull from St. Cloud. What's up? Kind of toxic, Minneapolis. Nolan Nisler, Kimball. Everett Wychid, Kearney, Nebraska. Robbie, Southern Colorado. SoCo. Camille Clement, Panama. Scraper, Skull from St. Paul. What's up? Purple Rain, Wausau, Wisconsin. That bell is Northern Colorado. Pulford Skull, Nashville, Tennessee. Jacob Mejia Megat, Oakdale in the house. DC, Chicago, you filthy animals, damn straight. Mike Benham, Grand Rapids. Tyler, USA. Hunter Williams, Skull from Dublin. Now, is that Dublin, Ireland, or Dublin, Ohio? Eric Hansen, Skull from Arlington, Minnesota. What up? Thanks for coming along and making this part of your day. You guys are the best. Next up. Tyler, what do you think of the Wolves draft with Edwards, McDaniel? I don't know. Is that the law firm? Edwards, Bolmaro, and McDaniels? Mr. Vikings fan, Skull Gray, Tennessee, the Minnesotan UYT Skull from Lakeville. What up? What up? Next up is, we got Philly, Shakopee, Jersey, Omaha in the house. What's up? Hunter, let's try this again. Sean Sebastian, would you rather have the Vikings win 5 Super Bowls in a row and become the Jets for eternity, or would you rather always have the Vikings in the playoffs every year and only win 1 Super Bowl? So in the playoffs every year does not imply that they don't win the Super Bowl, right? So just breaking this down like a lawyer. So in the playoffs every year, they have the shot. Like they naturally have the playoffs play out. It's not that you lose every single time the wild card or division round, right? And then you are guaranteed to win one Super Bowl. I'll take the latter. I will, because yeah, it's rough being a Jets fan, man. Although, I mean, we talk about like the Jets of recent years, because remember the Jets went to 2 NFC title games with Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. They went to 1 AFC title game. Did I say NFC title game? They went to 1 conference championship game with Parcells as well. So, plus, you forget that the Jets won a Super Bowl. Yeah, it was Super Bowl III, way back in the day. And of course, it was Joe Namath guarantee. Earl Morrall was garbage. Don Shula was overconfident. So I listened to Chuck Noll's biography. Chuck Noll was actually the defensive coordinator on that Colts team, and like Don Shula was pretty confident, because the Packers of the NFL had beaten down the 2 AFC teams, the Chiefs and the Raiders, I believe, the first 2 Super Bowls. So they're like, we're good. 14-point favorites. Everyone, enjoy your time down in Miami. No curfew. They were undisciplined. They were. Next up is Hutter Butter. With the Vikings 4-5, do you think the way Dalvin Cook is playing that we could beat the Packers this year? We play again, damn straight. Absolutely. Plus, the Viking style play is much more conducive to playoff football than the Packers is right now. Like the Packers and the Seahawks are kind of the same team, where they're relying on their quarterback, they're relying on a couple of receivers, and that is it. Like the offensive line is bad, they can't stop the run, and yeah. Kenny Benny. Do you think we'll keep Kirk around for the next couple of seasons, try to get a franchise quarterback? You can do both at the same time. You could walk and chew gum. Fake user number 2. Back to the Dalvin Cook show Sunday against the Cowboys. Absolutely. So the Cowboys are 31st in rushing yards allowed. Plus they've had their bye. They're 31st in average yards per attempt. They're 29th in PFF run defense grade. They're bad. They're bad against the run. So, and also Leighton Vander Esch is out. So it was Ben out. So there you go. Brady Miller. You have to put in a lot of work, as Andy continues to say. He's a big fan of doing nothing. Tyler Kurt. What do you think our starting corners will be when they all get healthy? Probably, just through sheer performance, probably Dantzler and Gladney starting, and Chris Boyd in nickel with Gladney kicking inside. Maybe Mark Fields. Max Kellenberg. I was just like you, thinking Jefferson was just slot receiver, not a great fit for us, but man, I'm glad we're both around. Yeah, man. So it wasn't so much that I disliked Jefferson. I just thought that his fit would have been better for other teams, because like Jefferson was higher on our big board than our Viking specific big board, but I'm glad it's working out. Pretty glad it's working out. Plus, I love how Kubiak is utilizing him, because like we said before the draft, like his bread is going to be buttered in the middle of the field in breaking routes that he can rack up yards after catch, and I'm glad that they're using him properly. Just really good to see. Ted Vick. Given what you know, 10 weeks in, would gladly still be the choice. We traded down, but ultimately, had we not traded, would you still have chose El Jefe? We did this yesterday. It's qualified, yes. I like Jeff Gladney's game a lot. I like that he doesn't generally make the same mistake twice, or that deficiencies that plagued him early on, like he's better at those. So maybe not make this. I'm good at talking. Although Antoine Winfield Jr. Oh yeah, because there was ones like Winfield, Claypool and Jefferson. Ooh. Next up is Randy Moss is the boss. I think Jefferson is the baby Julio Jones. Yeah, I was trying to think of a good comp for Justin Jefferson. It's hard, man. It's like tall, lanky, good at contested catches, amazing after the catch. He's not a freight train like Julio. Like Julio is much more in the Megatron mold. God, that's hard. I mean, In camp, we heard from reliable sources that he looked like a young Chris Carter out there, and you can see that. Younger, taller, faster, quicker Chris Carter, sure. Ooh, Tim Brown? Tim Brown might be kind of good. Yeah, I might go Tim Brown. There we go. Sean Stuber. Big fan of the channel. Keep it up. Would you still draft a quarterback first round if we go deep in the playoffs? Thing is, I think that Jones and Kyle Trask are good college quarterbacks. I think that Mac Jones is probably the safer pick. I think Kyle Trask has a higher ceiling, but he has a much lower floor as well. Late first round seems a little rich, depending on how the board shakes out. I think the Vikings could address offensive line. They could address defensive interior. They could address potentially safety. So, no. Yeah, maybe. Matty Mac. With a record at home versus the road, would you rather make the playoffs as a wildcard team or a division winner? I think that the Vikings starting at 0-3 at home is a little bit of being fooled by randomness. I think that teams are just, they're not used to playing in front of no one, right? So I think that getting used to that crowd noise and everything, it took a while, right? There still is that advantage of travel. So I guess you would still want to play at home. Plus, if you get into the playoffs, I mean, TBD, what is going to happen with the fans at various states. So Bucks may have like half capacity at Raymond James, and let's see what else here. Well, maybe the Saints, shift to Baton Rouge, which has been bandied about. I doubt they would do that, but maybe they would do that for the playoffs, and then they would get fans in Death Valley. But yeah, I think have no fans, or the 250 friends and family bill. Take that as a known qualified baseline. Plus, you avoid the travel shenanigans. So go with that. Pull for skull. Today in fantasy, I traded Michael Thomas, Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire for McCaffrey. I know he's banged up. I have Mahomes. Scary Terry in a big money 12 team PPR league stand 9-1. Did a scouting report and took a bunch of rookies from our videos on previous draft seasons. Also had Pittman, Rieger, and Ayuk. Sure, cash on. So is this a dynasty keeper? One of the two. If it's a redraft league, no. But keeper. I do worry about McCaffrey taking these hits, though. I understand that he's jacked and takes care of his body, but a lot like with Dalvin, if you told me that both of them are out of the league in 5 years, I would probably believe you. Even though they're going to burn out hard and bright. Sure. Kevin Ace. And to backtrack to the Justin Fields Trey Lance scouting, we sent 5 to Ohio State Rutgers game and 2 to NDSU Central Arkansas game. Okay. Well, I mean, there's simply more talent at Ohio State. Probably no NFL players coming from Central Arkansas, maybe 2 or 3 from NDSU. So I don't think that necessarily reflects on interest in Fields or Trey Lance. I think it speaks to more, it's a Power 5 team versus a FCS team. R Free. How nice is it to see Zim being aggressive and calling his type of D again? I'll admit I was wrong for saying that he should give up play calling, was just too conservative. Well, it makes sense now that you have cornerbacks that you can trust. And also, since Zimmer is playing a lot more coverage now, he is sitting with a lot more 2 deep safeties. He basically isn't blitzing at all on first and second down. They're allowing the Vikings to get in, and also that run defense is starting to shore up, so they're allowing to get in third and long situations, which is ripe for cooking up some spiciness. And also, he, like I said, cornerbacks that you can trust. Plus, it does help that the Lions' offensive line is terrible. It does help that the Bears are all around terrible. So you can obviously turn the heat up more on them. Like bad offenses or rookie quarterbacks, blitz them all day. But there's a reason why they only blitzed Rodgers 2 out of 10 times on third down against Green Bay. That's just is what it is. But yeah, it is awesome to see, the creative juices flowing. Like that blitz with the double A gap Harrison and then with Wanham dropping out. That was awesome. Mr. Vikings fan, what do you think the Vikings will probably have to give up to get the Texans pick from the Dolphins? Let's see if Vikings get Penny Sewell or a quarterback. All right, so say that it ends up being 7, just for ease of math. 25, probably 2 firsts and a third, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2 firsts, a third, and a fifth, or something like that. Depending on who's available, it may be worth it. Because if Zach Wilson was there, I would do it. I would. Phoebes 75. Does Colquitt numbers make you think that we need a long-term answer at punter? Yeah, and also age. He punted well last year. He's been decent this year, but the Vikings have had a couple issues on punt coverage. Chisena and Osborne. Osborne's a pretty good punt gunner. He's a terrible punt returner, and he's an okay kick returner. Chisena has all the physical tools. He just needs reps. Yeah, but Colquitt's fine. Like, it does go back to the... So I will take a punter that has better control over a punter with a big leg. So, and also one that holds well, which factors in. So that's why Ryan Quigley was good. I mean, Quigley was famous that he never had a touchback. Is that he was very good and crafty at just keeping the ball from getting into the end zone, and he set the Vikings up a good field position. And now people are like, "Hey, move on from him. He doesn't have that big of a leg," but it's fine. It's like, would you rather have early career Kerry Wood or late career Greg Maddux? Like, one was a thrower, the other one's a pitcher, and like Matthew Weil. Sure, he had a big leg, but he couldn't keep it in bounds or in the field of play for shit. Plus, he was a horrible holder. Yeah, so he was a thrower. Colquitt still is more of a pitcher. We just got analogies all over the place, man. It's good. But they should be looking. And I don't read much into that they tried out a couple of punters. It was more they brought in a long snapper for a tryout, and what's the point of having a long snapper if you don't also take a look at the battery? So I believe it was there was one long snapper and either 2 punters and a kicker, or 1 punter and 2 kickers. It was something like that. So it's like why if you're trying out receivers, you will generally bring in a quarterback as well, because someone's got to throw to him. What do you want, your position coach just throwing to him? Nah. May as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Shiver Timbers. Did you hear that Marcus Shields will be able to play again? Yeah, I saw that. And the timing of Osborne almost muffing that big punt. I don't know, man. He could probably still do it. But, yeah. He did muff a couple his final year. Hell, let's do it. Pride of John Marshall High School. Robbie. Hey, what do you think about kick returner wide receiver Romeo Dubs out of Nevada? I've not done enough research. Eric Anderson. Is Marlon Malouf's seat getting warm yet? I don't think they fire him midseason, but if things don't turn around special teams, maybe I'll move this season. Yeah. Things got to improve, man. A lot of it is assignments. A lot of it is discipline. A lot of it is just making sure that the message is understood. Just like every other, just like offense and defense, there's a lot of young players on special teams. There generally is. But yeah, he's got to get this stuff together. Josiah Clarkin. First of all, want to let you know you can vote up to 6 times per position on the Pro Bowl ballot, not just 6 votes total. Cool. Also, what's your take on possibly trading a few key players this offseason for draft costs to Steele and Harrison? I would trade Rudy. I would trade Rudy. If a team will take Barr, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Probably have to cut him, though. But that's probably about it. I guess if a team blew you away with an offer for Reef, like if a team offered you a 2 for Reef, you're probably going to do it. Seth B. Herman. Do you think Dancer will start when he's healthy? I think he will. Or at minimum, he'll be rotated in, even though Chris and Chris have done a phenomenal job. Brady Miller. So since we only run 2 linebacker sets, what's the plan with Dye? Well, it depends on opponent, but Dye does have value. He is a really good cover linebacker. So Even if they get caught in versus 11 personnel in their base defenses, generally you're not giving up too much. So it's not like he's Todd Davis out there. But yeah, nickel is the new base. Vikings do run nickel about 70% of the time. But what's interesting is that now this may be due to personnel restrictions since they've had so many cornerbacks banged up. But when they go like end of half or end of game prevent Hail Mary, it will be 3 down linemen. It will be 3 linebackers with Dye on the field. And then you got Kendricks like playing center field and then 2 safeties, 3 corners. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think Dye still has a bright future. Does need to add some size, hold it better at the point of attack. Like you saw Monday night, there was a bunch of plays where he was right there but did not make the play. So he's got to work on that. It really does remind me of Eric Wilson when he came in as a UDFA in 2017, where instincts for days, great as a cover guy. Wilson was a converted safety, so just add a little bit of size. And of course, Wilson has certainly done that. And then now Wilson's like, bah, face. Lucas Rush Checker. If the whole NFC North would be united in one team, who would be your starters on offense, defense? Who would be your preferred head coach, GM, and what player would you crown king of the North? Quarterback would be no one. Kyle, Jerome, Ezekiel Sluter. Nailed it. Running back, Dalvin. Fullback, CJ Ham, but I'd have Aaron Jones sprinkle in some fullback for as well. It's like Omar Epps on the program. Wait, no. Who's the fullback on the program? That doesn't matter. Wide receiver, Babytron, Jefferson, Allen Robinson, and then Devontae Adams can be wide receiver 4. Tight end, Hawkinson, with Irv as tight end 2. Let's see here. Left tackle, Bakhtiari. Right tackle, O'Neal. The guards, I would go, I guess, Ezra, and then I would move Frank Ragnow of the Lions to guard. I'll take Bradbury at center. Corey Lindsley can back up. Edge rushers, I'll take Daniil. Oh, Daniil and Mack. Daniil, Mack, Zadarius Smith can rotate in. So your D tackles. Actually, I'll put Zadarius at a 3-tech. That would work out pretty well. Akeem Hicks is getting old, though, man. A nose tackle, Pierce. Linebackers, Kendricks, I'm going to take Wilson over Roquan. Although, Preston Smith is interesting. Yeah. Cornerbacks, Jair, Fuller. And then I guess I'd have Gladney play slot. Although Jalen Johnson's pretty close too. Safeties, I'll take Harrison and Cheeseburger Eddie Jackson. Yeah, there you go. Next up, it's a good question. I like ones that make you think. Peter Erickson, thoughts on Timberwolves drafting Edwards? I do not know this man. 7am Alex, if we go 9-7, I really don't think we have a shot. Well, if they go 9-7, they'll need some help. And help could be on the way since the Rams and the Cardinals and the Seahawks, they all play each other once. I think that it would be in the Vikings' best interest for Seattle to win the division because, well, they have the easiest remaining schedule. Also, the Vikings don't have the head-to-head because they lost. So it'd be better if they win the division rather than have to contend with that in the wild card. I think the Cardinals, starting with tonight, could lose 3 games in a row because they have like Seattle, New England, and I think it's the Rams. They got 3 tough games coming up. Gage Sandin. MJD said Kamara should win MVP if he does good. Be the first wide receiver to win MVP. MJD, man, I don't know. Like, Pocket Hercules is entertaining, but like some of his takes, obviously they're running back centric, but also like, you ever want some fun? Go look at MJD mock draft. Skull Vikings. Imagine the Packers going 7-9. It's not impossible. Mano Giscus, would you still have picked in our mid rounds? Would you have still picked our mid round draft picks like Wanham, Dial, Lynch, other? Yes. Yeah. Although I would have worked in the Awanu, the guard from Michigan, that's destroying things with the Patriots right now. Would have worked that in over KJ Osborne in the 5th round. Travis Mullen, what is the he's too tall from her reference from? It's from Ocean's 11. I believe it's Saul when they're talking about Tess with Terry Benedict. He's too tall for her. Or she's too tall for her. It's one of the two. Nolan Nister, I do think Ezra Cleveland will miss the Cowboys game. If he is a non-participant on Friday, yes. If he's limited, he's got a shot. BizKits, Fede Odenbo was a big question beginning of the year. Has he lived up to expectations? Well, it leads the Vikings in pressures. So he's definitely doing work. He's been good against the run. I think that he's stepping up as a de facto leader on that young defensive line. So absolutely, he's doing well. MJ the GOAT. Just seeing that we got rated to have upset. Also, if you got rated to have an upset, did you see we got rated to have an upset? Oh, like people picking the Cowboys? Who cares? Kyle 9. What do you think about Chris Jones at corner for us? I think that he's really stepped up. Well, you like the size. He's got amazing length. He's got like 90th percentile arms, and he's been doing good. He's been really, really filling in well at left cornerback. Pulford Skull, what matchups do you want to see for our favor in playoffs rankings? Cards beat Seattle, Bucks beat Rams, Panthers beat Lions. That's a lot. That's a lot of matchups. It's still week 11. Like, get back to me week 14 when we have it boiled down to at least 3 weeks. Hutter butter. But I would like to see Seattle win, because I think if the Vikings are going to steal a wild card, the Cardinals are probably the ones that could be knocked off. Because I think the Bucks make it. I think the Saints, one of them is going to win the division. I think one of them gets in as a wild card. I think they're too far ahead. Hutter butter. So with Kirk playing so well and continues to play well, do you think it was worth signing him for that much money? Still no. But also, if you can just cut and paste that Chicago game, especially on 3rd down over the rest of the season and playoffs and Super Bowl, okay. Daniel Olson. Just read some interesting stats. Kyle Rudolph only has 2 career fumbles. Well, he only has like 8 catches a year. So Vikings are undefeated when Adam Thielen scores first quarter touchdown. Kyle Rudolph needs 13 touchdowns to be top 10 all time for tight end touchdowns. But he needs 13? I feel like the leader only has like 23. That's a lie, but you know. Kirk Cousins, one of the best quarterbacks against the Packers, a career passer rating of 103.4. 103.4 when playing against them. Well, some of that is that a lot of it was in garbage time. 5, Adam Thielen has 18, now 1,900 yard receiving games, which is more than Kyle Rudolph, Sidney Rice, and Percy Harvin combined. Well, I don't know if Kyle Rudolph's ever had a 100-yard game. Sidney Rice was only here on his rookie deal, and same thing with Percy Harvin. But, I mean, that is pretty impressive. Actually, let's make a wager. I will wager that has never had a 100-yard game. Let's see here. PFR. Game logs. Enhance. Actually, let's look at college too, because why not? Enhance. Game logs. Career. Man, Rudy's been here 10 years. That's crazy. All right. Survey says. Oh, never mind. He's at 3 100-yard games. A $122, 2018 against Detroit. 2016, 117 at touch. Oh, yeah, 2 touchdowns. Damn. Rudy Kowski. And then, wow, 6 for a $106. Loss of Green Bay. Loss versus Green Bay 2015. But 17 yards a catch, that's crazy. That's nuts. All right, college. Man, Rudy's college stats were, what's that? Who's his quarterback? Was this Brady Quinn or after Brady Quinn? This is the Dane Christ, Tommy Reese, Nate Montana era. Never mind. I understand now. Oh, the first year of Brian Kelly. Oh, yeah, he was there for the final 2 years of Charlie. Oh, duh. Jimmy Clausen. Okay, it's understandable now. So, yeah, I'm guessing that Kyle Rudolph probably did not have any 100-yard games in college, since he had like about 350 yards receiving per year. Wow. So one game, 2018, he had 8 for a $160 against Michigan. Man, that's funny. I love sports. Rich Rod. Yeah, we said this before. I could get lost in box scores just all friggin' day, and it would not be boring. But Oh, Shoelace. Yeah, Rich Rod was so fun trying to bring the spread option to Michigan. 3 yards on cloud of dust in my butt. Denard Robinson, Shoelace. God, he was great. Vincent Smith, the guy who Clowney decapitated. Tate Forcier was a lot of fun. I forget which book I was listening to, but they were talking about Tate Forcier, like making friends with like a kid that was like the water boy or something. Oh, Fitzgerald Toussaint. Remember him from Fantasy? Roy Roundtree. Ooh. Junior Hemingway. Damn, son. All right, defense. We'll move on. Kovacs, yeah. What's sacks? I vaguely remember Mike Martin as a defensive tackle. I think he had a cup of coffee in the league somewhere. Interceptions. Man, those are some lean years from Michigan. That was when they got upset by Appalachian State, wasn't it? Rich Rod. Next up. Ken Adams, $3 in the super chat. Odds we get, we end up with a top 3 quarterback in the draft. Probably pretty low. They're probably pretty low to begin with. Folds right into the wall. Would you trade for Mahomes and give up Kendricks, Hunter, Thielen, or Jefferson? Wait, or Jefferson? Wait, so it's Kendricks, Hunter, and then Thielen or Jefferson. Yeah, I would do that. I would do that. Kendricks, Hunter. Oh, can I do it? Kendricks, Hunter, and then Thielen, since Jefferson's obviously younger. Yeah, I would do that. Pretzel Boy. Bold prediction. I don't know why the Chiefs would do that, though. Pretzel Boy. Bold prediction. Vikings beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. El Jefe Gliding breaks up passing Stephon Diggs on the goal line. Thoughts? That would be sweet. Goes full Malcolm Butler. Andy Max, have you gone hunting yet? Was out a bunch bow hunting before rifle and shotgun started. I haven't been out since, mainly because I don't want to get shot. But we're going shotgun slug hunting this weekend, and then after that season's done, go back out bow hunting until either I get one or it's 2021, because that's when the season ends. King of the North. Which NFC team is most likely to collapse? Rams, Saints, or Seahawks? I think Seattle, man. Yeah, of course we have to root for like the pony who's sick and like dying. But the Seahawks, I think they've showed the last couple weeks that they're a flawed team. They're completely relying on Russ and DK and Lockett and Camille Clement, DeAndre Swift or Clyde. I'd take Clyde. Bryce Hooser, huge fan of the show. Do you think the Vikings should be looking for Adam Thielen's replacement a year or two because he's getting up there in age? Yeah. The wide receiver class coming up is deep. If the board breaks right and a certain guy falls, I think they should give serious thought to it. Probably not first round, but rounds 3 and beyond certainly should be open to that. Julo, should Dantzler be starting? Here we go there. I think when he gets back, he should be at least worked into the rotation. If he started, I wouldn't be upset with that. Reaver Ghoul, Cousins playing the way he is now. Are you all for keeping him in the next 2 years? Yeah. If you keep him the next 2 years, you still have to draft a quarterback this year. Absolutely, you have to. Clement, amazing O-line, and bad running back or amazing running back, average O-line. Give me the O-line every single time because you can always find another running back. Nick Van Anda. Should the Vikings looking to sign J.C. Jackson this offseason? I don't know how much money there will be. There's always money in the banana stand. Hashtag cap is a myth. But yeah, Jackson's going to get paid. Manojiscus. And I don't think he's going to get paid in New England. Although, maybe they'll pay him and then they'll punt on Stephon Gilmore. Manojiscus, how good is Chris Jones? How has Chris Jones been good when he has allowed 11 receptions out of 13 targets and has 46 PFF grade? Well, that solves it. So whenever I never take PFF grades on face value, especially in an own team, because you watch the game, do your own research, as well as, Chris Jones has come out there with really good technique, really good leverage. You can tell that he is a lot better than your average off the street 2018 UDFA free agent. And he's got size, he's got length. I think that he's really buying into what Zimmer and Durante Jones have been selling. And the fact that they have him on the left side, that he's learning specifically that technique, that leverage, using the boundary well. And I think that he will match up great because generally, matching up against Z receivers, I think that his speed has not been a hindrance. And I think that he has brought a lot to the table. Also, like him matching up against Allen Robinson a couple of snaps against Chicago. Like Robinson is the only one, only like decent wide receiver option on Chicago. So I think that he's shown a lot of promise. But yeah, since PFF says that he's bad, he must be bad. Kevin Ace, you heard it here first. Vikings go 10-6, play the Ravens. We'll win because of Dalvin Cook. Okay. Ted Vick. Hypothetically, would you rather have Trump or Biden as head coach? Who's the offensive coordinator? Mr. Beast, will the Vikings ever stop kneeling? No, that's how you run out the clock at the end of the game, man. Daniel Olson, name an NFL team that's more irrelevant than the Cowboys. I'll wait. Jets. Skull Mitzel, am I the only one who hates the Patriots New Jersey and think the old ones are much better? Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like the new ones. Like, at least go to like the throwbacks. Andy's evil twin. Good luck voting for the Pro Bowl. Don't be surprised that your votes don't count. Folds around the wall. Cardinals are frauds. I said it. The one Hail Mary, their defensive trash. They lost to the Lions and the Panthers. Yeah, maybe. They're still a fun and dangerous team. Kyler and Nuke. Maybe it is a bit of a carbon copy of Seattle where they're going to rely on a wide receiver and a quarterback to try and get through, but they do have some young, interesting pieces on defense. Love Isaiah Simmons. Love Buddha. Patrick Peterson is still hanging around. So I actually like the Cardinals' chances better than Seattle, even though they've been there, done that before. That's it. That is the final live stream of the week. Go Vikings. Beat the Cowboys' ass on Sunday afternoon. Thanks for coming along. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hot dish, making fajitas a little bit later on. It's going to be a good time. Stay tuned for all the videos and whatnot coming up on the channel. You guys are the best. Skull, production value.